New Halo Operation dropped a little bit over a week ago, and the question most people are asking is, how much does it change the state of the game? I think the content has some really good additions, but some things lacking in some major departments, but I think this update follows a formula or strategy that actually could be impactful for future updates. Is Halo Studios doing something right? Crazy, but hear me out. So when it comes to the operation, it's pretty solid. We get a new game mode, and get this, it's not something that was an old mode from the past. It's actually something that has never been seen before in a Halo game. It's new. Seek and Deploy Extraction, or S&D Extraction, is a new game mode added which basically is a play on the main mode from Valorant or CSGO ranked modes. That is extremely popular. Basically, each team of 4 is battling to see if one side can defend their extraction points while the other side is trying to either eliminate the other team or deploy extraction stations and steal data. But the twist is that before each round, you can spend points to buy starting weapons, equipment, power-ups, and power weapons like the sniper. If you get kills, extractions, or just save up your cash, you can actually spend more per round that gives you an advantage. So this mode has some basic concepts along with some major strategy. Playing the ranked version of this is extremely sweaty, but the social mode is fun, as long as nobody quits. Because if someone leaves before the game begins, then they just throw in a tie and just ruins your entire day. They also added in new game modes in Gravemind and Thunderbolt in an action sack playlist. Both pretty fun, especially Gravemind, which gets pretty wild, especially when you get to be the Gravemind itself and hunt down everybody. And of course, new customizations are added in, following in a Promethean armor set that mirrors Halo 4's armors that a lot of people liked. All pretty good, but the issue is the store is pretty gross. So the big question is, why does this matter? I think in the short term, it is keeping up with the standards that the studio had claimed that we'll be getting new content every month, which obviously should be a given. I mean, what else are you going to be doing then? But more importantly, think about what this update does. It creates new experience, not something that we can just copy and paste from the past, but something that's brand new that we've never seen in Halo before that builds intrigue. For people who have been dying for something different, this actually does that. Fans have played the mode and actually sing its praises. It's different for Halo, and it actually works. It builds on a new sweaty game mode for ranked, and it fits right into the meta that we're used to. 5 new maps created by both Forgers and the dev team, and they are pretty balanced. And better yet, this game mode was actually created by a Forger who was paid. That is something that fans have been clamoring for since Forge was added to the game. So why does this matter? Well, it introduces new content by a community member that's supported by the devs with actual money, and it slaps. But not only that, it introduces new mechanics that are now open to other Forgers that want to create spin-offs of this mode with the incentive of actual monetary benefit that can be given to Forgers that really want to stay involved and help push the game going forward. And most importantly, it has to do with the strategy. This strategy can not only work for the rest of this game's lifespan, but whatever multiplayer experience that any Halo team is working on should be considered. And I'm not even mentioning the new additions to the Action Sack playlist either. Continue to add Forge content that was worked on by the community only gives more credence to the fact that the community are the ones driving this game and they should be cherished. Every month, we should see this type of content added to the game, whether it's new game modes for ranked or social experiences that push the barrier on what the old Halo games have done in the past. Imagine every month you get to boot into Halo with it and you say, okay, what cool addition was added now? That would keep things fresh, while also setting realistic expectations for any live service game. I even saw that when it came to the exchange, they added new items that were previously part of paid promotions in the past. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying this is all that matters in order for the game to feel fresh. There should be more things added to monthly updates that truly can call it a success. This operation added a brand new game mode, social experiences, and action sack with new customizations. I wish they added a new weapon or something like that in the light rifle, or even something brand new that we've never seen in Halo before. Vehicles, equipments, something. That is something I can always criticize Halo Studios for failing on. I'm not saying this is perfect, but it's a move that can work if they do it the right way. And so why is this important? It ties into the fact that this strategy could be done going forward. But I think this operation sort of did something that I thought was spot on. But if you were to add new experiences in maps, weapons, or other content, that is what we need to see for future updates. So this type of strategy actually sets the stage for good things in the future as long as Halo Studios does not screw it up somehow. I think the most important thing to take away from this strategy is that it tells the fans, yes, Halo Studios can screw up quite a bit, But if they actually follow this method of actually dropping content when they're supposed to, with new maps and things to do, this is important. This can actually bring people to enjoy Halo Infinite, and I think that's something that a lot of people are missing out on. A lot of Halo content creators are saying that this is a big moment for the game because you can kind of see this method of how Halo Studios is proceeding with these operations to actually have some sort of consistency. So I think this strategy that they have actually works if you follow it to the T. I personally think that this operation was surprisingly solid for what it was. Yes, are there things that should have been added and fixed? Of course there were. But at the same time, if you follow this method or this kind of plan, it actually can work. And I really do think that this is something that the devs should be doing going forward. If you like the content so far, drop a thumbs up and hit that sub button and notification bell to be notified on new videos or live streams. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member to get access to some really cool perks and rewards. Now let's jump back into the video. So when I think about the future of Halo Infinite and its updates, I think Halo Studios can learn and reflect on operations like Reclaimer and actually say, okay, this was seen with good reception, so how do we keep this going? I honestly can say that the Operation Update concept isn't a bad idea for what it is. 3 months of content similar to Seasons that is encouraging people to come back and experience what they have. It's not dumb, but each operation varied on its success based on what was added and how greedy Halo Studios decided to be. If it were just a store update, that just stinks. If they added new game modes, maps, and experiences, that's gold. But the next few updates, there are a lot of rumors of what is coming to the future of this game, and I want to lend my opinion on what would be smart here. The big rumors offered by several Halo content creators and insiders like Rebs Gaming say that in the next coming months we're going to see a return of Invasion and Warzone game modes, which I'm all for and actually elated to see. But these game modes were already in previous titles and aren't really new. Yes, would I love to see them return to Halo Infinite, especially with how much I love them from the past? Of course. But why not take the risk and introduce new game modes that are different, that we've never seen before? When it comes to the game modes and maps, I think one of the best ideas could be something like the operations game modes for things like Battlefield or Battlefront. Fans of gaming love objective-based modes, cool and giant team-based combat. Warzone is hella fun, but it's limited. It's base control domination with bosses to push games faster. But imagine you have 2 giant teams with computers as support units helping the attack or defensive teams as they battle it out on these massive scale maps. Then as the attack team takes over certain objectives, they move on to the next section. It creates this cool experience similar to Warzone Assault, but the difference is you actually can change up the things that you do to get to each point. It's like a mini story as you battle. And I'm sure if you pay Forgers, they can create some really cool ideas that can be added to this concept. Even things like Supremacy from Battlefield work really well because it's a battle for domination over a certain section and it pushes units back. And it creates this really lively kind of interactive game mode that has people always fighting each other. I think adding these types of social game modes for each type of major update and the consistent creation of maps to help make these experiences different each month will benefit the game tremendously. When it comes to weapons and equipments, I think the simple answer is devs should be doubling down on pushing for new weapons, whether it means for their artists to work on new weapon models or just cheap out and repurpose the current models to make variants. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, making the fuel rod spanker was pretty lazy, and the devs did receive a crazy amount of pushback. But that pushback sort of went away when people just got used to the gun and were just glad that we got something. So in my opinion, pay the forgers, make variant guns that can either mimic guns from the past or create new versions that can be added to the sandbox to change up the meta. The combination between weapons, maps, equipments, and modes will give the fans of the game a much needed boost. But the basic fix that I know probably won't happen has to do with the store. There has been a few times where Halo Studios actually listened to the fans and provided really cool customizations and threw it into the exchange to purchase instead of it only being available in the store. And yes, this means they lose out on dollars, but it gives the fans some sort of bone to show that they appreciate you. I think they need to rethink their store policy, and with the last year or two in the game's lifespan, this needs to be updated. I mean, if they actually did the right thing and created their store to provide the ability to earn points or coins similar to that of Marvel Rivals, I have a feeling people would actually appreciate that. People like to see the devs give them an incentive to play their game. If you show people that, hey, you like Halo, right? We want you to play our game. You should be able to earn credits by completing the free pass, not just Spartan points. They should be giving you monetary benefit for hitting certain objectives or going through certain parts of the pass to say, hey, here's some money back. You can now invest that into the store, and that means you're getting people to play your game. That way, fans can actually grind and save their points to buy a bundle if they continue to play the game like me. I would get a really cool bundle if they actually gave me ways to earn cash. I mean, who wouldn't? When the game ends and all these items that you put behind a paywall are all gonna go away. You can't transfer them to the Unreal Engine, so they're gonna just be a waste. Why do that? Use it for the benefit of the game. It's pretty simple. I think Halo Infinite definitely has changed over the last few years. Honestly, the game now has much more content and it's a lot more fun than it used to be. I would recommend to people to go and try out S&D Extraction playlist, and the fact that Halo Studios had implemented the strategy on these free updates is smart. My hope is that the devs actually listen to the fans and make this a consistent plan going forward. The next few months will be interesting to see because not only are we going to be finding out what the next game is going to be, but we'll also get to see what happens with Halo Infinite for the rest of its lifespan. But do you think the strategy Halo Studios has been implementing with the operations is a good one? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you liked the video, drop a thumbs up and subscribe. I made a video about what I would like to see in the future of the Halo multiplayer going forward. Check out the video in the end screen. Until next time, this is Marsman signing off. Game on.